everything you're about to learn is real!
Look at all the wonders that a single class can find. They decide to shut their mouths and open up their minds. Sex and shit and crime and pain.
All this crap will be explained.
And while we're at it, let's try to have some fun.
Talking about what the fuck 101.
Come and see the worst of history.
What the fuck 101.
Come and see that life is misery. So if you think
Learning sucks, well, let me show you.
it's what the fuck 101.
With me, Professor Foxtrot.
Professor Whitney Foxtrot, finally you can answer for your crimes.
What did you do?
Teach! When you joined the Chaos Coalition, you swore to use your technology to strengthen our grip on the world. We need a dumb, compliant populace, yet we find you using your powers to educate kids. Dumb ones, too.
I think he's talking about Mindy.
We should be teaching. I want kids to see what I've seen, to marvel at what an insane, surprising, horrifying, interesting world we live in. Also, I think it'll boost interest in the mad STEM fields.
Enough of this. By order of the Chaos Coalition, you are exiled to the Q Dimension forever.
We're trapped here?
Yes, in a place where nothing happens and time doesn't exist.
Wait a minute, that sounds like
Detention! Wait, are we in detention forever? 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 Forever?
Bummer. What is the Chaos Coalition?
A secret organization of mad scientists that runs the world.
You gave up total world domination just to teach us?
Maybe you're not as bad as I thought.
Yeah, well, I still got us all trapped here. Without my pointer, we can't leave.
Can't you at least try?
That would be dangerous, stupid, and probably pointless. Which is my favorite combination! Ta-da!
That looks like shit.
I know. It probably won't even work. History is full of people who were tried unfairly and punished harshly. Why should I be any different?
Hey, we did it! Sort of.
Shit, this is bad. We're straddling the Q dimension in our timeline. Ooh, this isn't stable.
We're halfway back.
Yes, we're in Rome in the year 897. The perfect place to show you how unjust justice can be. That man is the organizer, prosecutor, and judge of a charade of a trial. Pope Stephen VI.
Ah, Pope Steve.
The defendant was a previous pope, Pope Formosus.
I thought new popes were only announced when the old one died.
That's right. Pope Formosus had been dead for 7 months.
What the fuck?
Bring in the defendant.
Oh, cool. It's my nightmare.
This trial, the Cadaver Synod, marked the beginning of one of the most corrupt eras in the history of the papacy, known as, no joke, the pornocracy.
I may just be a simple country pope, but where I come from, people clean up before coming to court.
Formosus's corpse was accused of perjury, holding 2 bishoprics against canon law, and rising to the papacy illegally.
Well, answer me this, Formosus, if that is your real name. How is it that you became pope if Pope John VIII excommunicated you in 878? Huh?
I don't think he's gonna answer.
No, that's why Pope Stephen had a young deacon crouch behind the corpse and answer for it.
Pardon the flies. I don't
No?
Oh, how convenient.
The clergy watched as Pope Stephen insulted and screamed at the corpse, only occasionally letting the intimidated deacons speak. Unsurprisingly, Formosus was found guilty. He was stripped of his vestments, had 3 fingers of his right hand cut off,
You won't be blessing anything anymore.
and was buried in the graveyard for outsiders and foreigners.
And all your actions as Pope shall be declared null and void.
Wasn't one of those actions making you a bishop?
Okay. That part is still valid, man. All the other parts are just... Everyone shut up, okay? So saith the Pope.
Why even bother? The dude was dead.
Most people think it was political theater. Pope Stephen and Pope Formosus were in different political factions. This could have been a way for Stephen to delight his allies and terrify his enemies.
On second thought, throw him in the Tiber River instead.
Oh, come on, I just reburied him.
God, these fucking poses just...
But he could have just been insane.
Either way, people don't fuck with that brand of crazy.
Actually, people loved Formosus and thought this was all weird as shit. It wasn't long before a mob dragged Pope Stephen into prison.
What? What is this? No.
Oh no, the Pope. Oh, someone do something.
Months later, he was strangled to death in his cell. Subsequent popes annulled the trial, had Formosus's body pulled from the river and restored to St. Peter's Cathedral.
So, everything worked out?
Sure, until the early 900s, when Pope Sergius had Pope Formosus posthumously excommunicated.
Move the Pope here. Move the Pope there.
Then it was a sham of a trial whose outcome depended entirely on who was in charge at the time.
That's shit! It was too unstable. Let me try something else. Come on. Yes.
We have to get out of here. This is cruel and unusual.
There have been much worse forms of punishment than imprisonment in a void.
Did that do it?
Oh, I don't think so.
Bummer.
But we might have time to learn about one of the most horrific punishments ever devised. The ancient Persians would sometimes kill people using these.
Oh, cute.
Would you still think so if I told you this type of execution was called the boat?
Yeah, I like boats.
Well, it's not. The victim was placed in a boat and then fed milk and honey.
Yum.
This sounds great.
Then their body is smeared with more milk and honey.
Got a lot of tension up here in your right shoulder.
That's the spot.
Miss Foxtrot, are you okay? This feels very unlike you.
And then a second boat is nailed on top of the first.
There it is.
Okay, this is a little,
Then the victim is force-fed more milk and honey.
Too much milk.
Which attracts insects, flies, wasps, and bees.
Okay, no, I'm not liking this.
So many that the swarm would completely cover the victim's face.
Oh my god.
It's not over yet. All that milk would give the victim diarrhea. He would be left on the lake covered in bugs, stewing in his own feces until the next day,
Jesus.
when they would feed him again.
No, thank you. I couldn't possibly. I had a big lunch.
The boat gradually fills with his own shit, where worms and burrowing insects same-sex breed.
No!
After several days, the victim usually died of septic shock, rotting in his own shit and being devoured by insects.
That is the most horrific thing I've ever heard.
Ah, but still, all the milk and honey you could eat.
Oh, come on! That's a statue the ancient Greeks tried for murder when it fell and crushed a man.
What the fuck?
That's a donkey placed on trial in 18th century England for being the victim of bestiality.
What the fuck?
That's a chicken called as a witness in a chicken theft trial.
What?
In Virginia.
What?
In 1876.
Fuck!
Whose testimony led to a guilty verdict.
What the fuck?
Oh, it's no use! My pointer is as screwed up as humanity's sense of justice.
So that's it. We're just stuck here.
No, I'm not going to accept that. We've got the greatest mind in the universe. Someone who will do anything because she doesn't care. Someone who will do anything to spite authority. And Brad.
Hello.
I'm sure between all of us and your partly functional pointer, we can find a way out of here.
You're right. We can still poke our heads into every little corner of history. We'll take what we need for the greatest prison break ever.
Yeah!
It's gonna take a long, long time.
How long?
And we'll probably see more fucked up stuff along the way. But I can keep teaching, and you can keep learning.
Hold on, what if we
All
did it?
the fucked up shit this shitty fucking universe has to